boy, oh boy, we're in a different jumper. We're in a different jumper. Can you believe it? I can. I just had an idea and had a thought, and I'm trying to honor them more. I'm trying just to like do shit. And it was like, I don't know, it was just this thought that, I don't know, every single day is a new day. Do you know what I mean? You should know what I mean. But if you're neurodivergent, specifically maybe with ADHD, every day presents the struggle of somewhat subconsciously but consciously knowing what you should, like, that I have like a set thing of things that I need to do for myself to be able to function properly. Having like a resistance to do some, like, against doing some of them. Having like a fear against pushing too hard to try and do some of the other ones. And then if I push too hard, I'll push myself into the, oh no, I can't be fucked to do this anymore category. Just like a whole balancing act of like trying to keep myself together and functioning. And I'm unmedicated at the moment, just to like also preface this, because if you're thinking, well, like, why don't you just take your medication? Look, I'm not medicated at the moment. I moved states. You have to go through a whole process, which I'm sure is very easy once you actually do it. But if you know anything about ADHD, the prospect of doing something is more stressful. Like, not even more stressful. It's just none of my dopamine reserves are going towards that right now, especially when it's like not hindering my life in like a ridiculous sense. It's kind of just like, it is what it is. You know, like, it is what it is. Anyway, there's a good few things that I think I'm getting better at just doing. And trust me, I fall off the bandwagon every few weeks to a month. Sure, God, this is not like a definite thing that I do. Or like, I don't do all of these. Pretty much, this video is just going to be me showing you a bunch of things that really help me to like get my day to start well, and like to get me to have the energy to like, oh, one of them is happening right now, which is sunshine. Hi, bitch. Ooh, I didn't think the sun was going to come out this morning, yet here she is. Oh, the clouds are going to in front of it again. But there's a blue patch after it. Don't worry, never fear, never fear. I've almost had all of my coffee, so hi, you're getting more of an awake version of me. But there are just a bunch of things that if I remember to do them, if like, blessed be the gods, they also align with something that my brain goes, oh yeah, dopamine, let's do that. They really, really help me. And they can just be like some good legs up. One of which, okay, the first thing that I'm gonna start is I have this playlist on my Spotify, which is like Hertz music. And so you could also find them. You can Google them on, like, you could Google them. They're also on YouTube. They're often called like alpha and like beta waves, or it's just like Hertz music. So you get the like very frequent ones are like 174 Hertz, 432, 169, 152, like whatever it is. And they're usually called like DNA repair or like frequency of the universe, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, it's this music that is just super low. It's like a very soft and like a low stimulation, which if I can't take like music, which usually in the morning I don't really like, I prefer to be in silence, but sometimes if my brain is just like I need something, this kind of quenches that thirst, because I don't really want to put myself like from like 0 to 60 in the morning or 0 to 100 in the morning. Like, I don't want to wake up and then be playing like my music immediately, because I feel like that kind of sometimes can just exhaust me. And it's like, I put myself on the train track to like burn out by like 3 p.m. if I start at that kind of level. And so I try to just like regulate it. Also today, I think it's my natal moon and transiting Mars are having the best time right now. So we've got some Virgo Taurus action going on. So this is like the perfect time for this video to happen. I've realized that just popped in my head right now. I was like, why am I so good? Like, today is a paramount day for me to be talking about this and also acting on it. Anyway, I have ADHD, hi. So, number one, sunshine, if it's available. Open a window, go outside, sunshine. It just wakes you up. It's a fact. Like, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. And once you get into the pattern of doing it, it's like, oh, like I get into the pattern of like sitting out here in like my bay of just like fuck tons of windows. And I notice like if I spend too long in my room, like if my morning in my room goes to like 12 o'clock, like midday, if I'm in my room till midday, I know that I'm just not gonna have a good day. Like, you can always turn a day around. I could always, like, you know what I mean? Like, I could always get up at 12 and I could do, like, some of the exercises and I'm going to share with you after. But if I'm feeling particularly lazy and I'm feeling particularly, like, ADHD, you get me, in the sense that I'll be in my room until, like, midday and I'll be like, well, it's midday. Why bother turning the day around now? I'll just continue on my phone. And I'll just keep going on my computer because I haven't kicked off my day now. So why start the routine? Anyway. Sometimes those days just happen and it's fine, it's normal. But yeah, so sunshine, like low stimulation of music. If my brain, like I like to be in silence for like the first, like as long as I pretty much can. But once I start feeling myself kind of like lose structure and lose like my routine, then I'm like, all right, let's invite some music in. Any kind of music. I usually start with the Hertz, just to slowly wake myself up. If I haven't said that in like 6 different ways already. Another thing that I like to do, if I feel like it, is shower. And I say that because, look, I'm gonna be real. Sometimes I forget to shower. And it's not like I know that like in other, like with like mental illness, like you can like just not give a shit about hygiene, and that is a real and valid thing. But sometimes I just straight up forget and I don't smell that bad, or if I do smell, I kind of love how I smell. Like, I personally think I just smell like rose chai. So I don't have an issue with it. And especially if I'm just like kind of at home at all times, not doing anything, I'm like, well, why would I need a shower? And don't start me. I know why you need a shower, like oil buildup and blah, 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 but like, sometimes we forget, okay? And the best thing we can do is try to remember, and that's all we can do, and that's fine. Me getting defensive. But no, next thing would be showering, because it does just kind of like wake you up, make you feel really good, make you feel fresh, just resets your body. Water is really cleansing. The other thing that I really love to do is, I forget what it's called, but it's this like nervous system like reset. I did it this morning, and oh my God, I remember I started to have this like anxious thought, which, look, I have racing thoughts as it is. I feel like, again, if you have ADHD, you know. If you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. Racing thoughts, kind of just like part and part with daily life. But I started to have one, I can't remember what it was, but I started to have one that felt particularly like, oh no, there's a big white cloud. That doesn't look like the sun's gonna come back for a while. It's just gonna be cold. Okay. Hi. It's like a fine line between like sunshine and also freezing cold breezes because it's still winter. What was I saying? Oh yeah, it's this like sequence of movements that is really good just to like, I think it's just to reset your nervous system, and pretty much all it is like, I wish I was better at editing, but I just don't think I'm ever going to be at this present time. So it's like, what is it? Bouncing on the balls of your feet for like about 30 seconds to a minute, and like stopping and then just giving yourself some like process time, and then doing these like things where you step on the balls of your feet and then you just drop to your heels. And you do that for again like 30 to 60 seconds, and that just really like grounds you into your body and it feels really good. And then, oh yeah, with the bouncing one, just like bounce for a little bit, and then slowly you'll start feeling like your arms shaking and your shoulders shaking, and then like your entire body. And like if you can just get to the stage where you're kind of like wriggling, good shit. And then heel drops for 30 to 60 seconds and letting your body like rest. In the rest things, I like to do sometimes like padding or like like the hugging motions, like the climbing and hugging. I love them. They feel really good. Sorry, there's birds in the trees. Just like looking at them. It's cute. Anyway, I think that's a bird I fed yesterday. Anyway, and then the last one is standing with your legs shoulder width apart and just moving and like feeling and really focusing on your body weight. Just going from like each side of your body, like through your legs to your hips, and just moving, and then letting your body rest for a second. Again, like 36 seconds, so each of them are like rotations of 30 or 60 seconds, whatever you feel. And it just kind of like resets your nervous system. And yeah, I noticed it. Like I did notice the difference, and I was like, wow, amazing. So if I ever remember to do that, the same thing that's akin to that is like, if you can remember just to get up and like just jump and shake. It doesn't reset your nervous system, but it kind of like I don't think it doesn't, it's not like a calming thing, but it's more of just like get your body pumping, get your body flowing, like awakening it. If you're feeling like, if you're able to catch yourself, like I know that sometimes you're not, and like sometimes the idea of like stopping what you're doing and getting up and jumping is like, no, why would I do that? I don't want to do that. I get you. But if you ever can, just kind of like again, I know this doesn't work all the fucking time, and like sometimes it just doesn't work. Sometimes you can't loophole ADHD because it's not like symptoms are symptoms and you can't do anything about them. But you know, like I find that sometimes on a good day or on a random day, like I'll just be able to do some things. Like I'll have a thought, and before I can start thinking into it too much, I can just do it. Doesn't happen always, but it happens sometimes. And so on those times, I'm thankful and I'm grateful for them. And I just try and like take those opportunities when they come. But yeah, so if you like, sometimes if I feel myself just like sitting for too long, I'll just be like, get up and jump, and I'll just do it. I just have to do it like immediately. Doesn't always work. Sometimes I'll be like, no, like it's not really gonna help. I'll just sit here and like it's gonna be fine, and I'm fine. But the times where I do get up and jump and like just shake my body out and like feel good, bitch, does it feel good? Bitch, does it feel good? I love it. So just bodily movement. Also, if you can get out and like go for a walk, that's some good shit. Walks, I forget every single time. Every single fucking time. And this is the thing with ADHD, right? I'm listing all of these beautiful things that I know help me. It's like when people, if you tell it like someone with like a neurotypical person, they're like, just write down lists. It's like, yeah, bitch, I know lists help. But then also my condition, it works in the way that I forget the things that help me. Like, do you know what I mean? Like I always say this to people to like kind of like put in a frame of reference is like, if you're like having like a bad day in terms of like, there's so many ways you can be having a bad day, but like say you look in the mirror and you're just not very like pleased with how you look. A lot of people, neurotypical people, would be like, oh, like maybe I'll just do my makeup to feel a bit better. Maybe I'll do skincare. Maybe I'll do my hair. Like if I'm not feeling particularly hot on a day, I'll just look in the mirror and be like, oh. And like one of the biggest things that I find infuriating about ADHD that is like a huge symptom that I don't think is talked about enough is that things don't just occur to you. Like it wouldn't occur to me if I'm feeling like a bit blah about my like appearance to like do my hair in a fun and cute way. Because I'll just look at it and I'll be like, huh. And it's just like you kind of just shift and adjust. And you shift and adjust. It's like period pain. If you're a girl who has ADHD, holy shit, you have period pain? Does it ever occur to you to take Panadol? It never does. I just sit in the pain. And I'm like, oh well, I guess it's the period pain. This sucks. Things just don't occur to you. So even though I'm saying all these beautiful things, you never know. It's just good to have them. It's good to have them in a list. And it's good just to have them in your brain, I guess, as like a thing to just reference. Oh my God, I really do need to have a shower and exfoliate, but whatever. I forget which one I was on. I forget the thing that I was on. What I've gone through. I think I was just on to like shaking and body movement. Yeah, going out for a walk. Because I forget. I love trees. I love outside. Even if I just go over like a 10-minute walk, I'm happy the entire time. I'm like, oh my God. Look at this shit. The world. Beautiful. Immediate dopamine. Right now it's kind of just a bit of the thing that's really fighting me on doing that is the weather. Like the past 2 days it was really beautiful and clear, and I was able to just like walk down to like my town's oval and just like sit there and lay in the sun. But when it's not sunny and when it's fucking freezing cold, I have to really hype myself up to put together like a cute warm outfit. Like I have to figure out a way to hype myself up to go for a walk. So I'm like, I know that I'll love the walk, but like, I don't know if I'm gonna go on one today. I'm gonna try, but like, I don't know, babes. I don't know. Anyway, walking. In general, exercise. Water, hydration. I'm pretty much just like giving you the keys on like how to make anybody, any human being, like a healthy human being. But this shit, I feel like when you, when I'm taking care of myself, it makes the symptoms of my ADHD a little less severe. just a little bit. Anyways, yeah, drinking water, to stay hydrated, because then like that, I feel like the most like common thing that I just get bogged down in is those just like lows of just like, oh, I just don't feel good and I don't really know what the remedy to this is. And then from those states, you kind of just go like dopamine seeking. So it's like, easiest thing is to go on your phone and just be like, now I feel good. But it's like, sometimes I just need to remember to like reframe it and go, okay, am I not feeling good because I'm dehydrated, because I'm hungry, because I'm tired, because one of my emotions is sitting in me and it's kind of like wriggling around and not really being felt, or it's being ignored and I'm not addressing that? Like, what is it? What is it about this particular moment in this particular part of my day that is bringing me down? Because it is probably one of these things, but if I just pick the answer that's the easiest to get dopamine, which is go on my phone, I'm short-circuiting myself. But again, don't feel bad if you don't catch yourself, because this is a lot of mental gymnastics for you to do, which is why medication sometimes is really great. But also, I don't have a job right now, so if I can just like focus on maintaining my life for an entire day, that's energy well spent. That's energy well spent. Trust me on that. Maybe it's not. I don't fucking know anything. I'm literally just a gal. That's it. Anyway, so yeah, I think there's like the basic things that like in terms of if I get all of these things done in the morning, which reminds me, I'm gonna get water. I've already had juice. The juice isn't water. And I can feel my tongue. I can feel my tongue doing the thing where it's like, I need it. I need the thing. And because I'm filming myself, and like, I feel like filming in my ADHD brain works the same as like body doubling. You know, like again, you know, if you have ADHD and like when somebody comes over, or like if you have one other person just like standing in the room with you, suddenly it becomes like, it's like every single like access key is suddenly given to you and you're like, oh, I can do everything. I can do the dishes. I can do my washing. I can do the cleaning. I can do fucking everything. It's all possible. Like, I feel like it's because it triggers, you know how there's like the 4 things that can trigger ADHD dopamine like within you, and it's like if something's very, very urgent, if something's new, like a new thing, if something's novel, like not very frequent, something's just kind of like, ooh, different, or if it's directly related to you. I feel like the body doubling thing, it ticks the novelty thing. It's like, ooh, a person. Which is helpful. It's fucking helpful. And I feel like this shit, like just then, I was like, I can feel my tongue. I'm talking, but I can feel my tongue doing the thing, being like, bitch, you're thirsty. And do I have a coffee? Yeah, but my phone's leaning on it, so I'm not going to disturb that. So I'm just going to get water. Good job. Anyway. And then every single time, also another thing, every single time I do one of the things to help myself, I have gotten into, and had definitely for a really long time, was just trying to like work this behavior into me as like an impulse. But every single time I do something that helps me, I really, really, really celebrate it. I really just go, yes, like this is working, like good job. Doesn't mean it happens every time. Doesn't mean it's actually like this is the thing. Everything I'm saying could be complete bullshit, but also none of it hurts. Like none of it hurts to do. And also in my brain, like basic, I think, brain science, hopefully, is like the creation of neural pathways. Like, don't do the things that you don't want to become, because if you do, like, you doing something and you making an action creates a neural pathway. Like it's just teaching your brain to do the thing. Like that's how you're formed. That's how your life is formed, by like whatever thing you choose to do and whatever action. Like if you have to decide to do something and you choose to do the thing, neural pathway created. Like, so when your brain's trying to figure out, how do I get dopamine? And your phone is this super easy, like, bam, instant. Your brain's gonna be like, let's take that bridge. It's the shortest bridge. It's the prettiest one. There's a fucking theme park on the other side of it. Let's go that. But if you like, in my brain, I'm like, if I just try to create neural pathways when I can, like when I get those golden moments to do those things, I'm gonna try. Yeah, just when I do that, I guess like the next thing is just like supporting myself and just being like, fuck yeah, bitch, you did the right thing. And giving myself a reward of like, not giving myself a reward of going on my phone, but giving me like self-praise and self-love. Anyway, so I feel like all of those ones that I just said are pretty like objectively like good things to do for your body. I forget all of them, so I wish I could do like a summary, but that's not going to be one of my strengths. Was there more than 3 things said? Yep, therefore gone. If you're a little like spiritual girly, I really find, and I fluctuate in and out of this, like nobody's business. Like I'll go for months not doing this. Like, well, this is just kind of like tarot, like cards in general. Sometimes I'll be on my card bullshit. Like I'm giving readings to myself. Like I'll do like a weekly reading of like energies to focus on. And like, I try not to do, when I use cards for myself, let me also just preface this. When I use cards for myself, I don't do any like future divination, because spikes anxiety in me. And I know that for me, my preferred state of being is just kind of present and in like the creation mindset, rather than like the forward thinking, like, this is what I have to work towards. Because if I have an idea or a goal of what I'm working towards, my likelihood of leaning into self-sabotaging things and like tendencies and like just creating anxiety around a goal and like my perfectionism, like all of that shit, fucking skyrockets, dude. It skyrockets. And like, I understand that it works for some people, and if it works for you, like, beep, beep, ignore what I'm saying. But this is how I run my life and what works best for me. I find that I need to focus more on just like the present, and being in the moment. That's why I call creation, like being in a state of creation, being in a state of like presentness, and like doing something in the moment. Like, yeah, like planning rather than like, I mean, being in a state of creation rather than planning. Because planning has just never been a strong suit. You'd think as a stellium and Virgo bitch, I'd be a good planner, but no. I find that's like more of a Virgo Mars thing. Or like maybe it's other Virgo placements, but I really, really find that Virgo Mars is like amazing at planning stuff. Maybe it's like dependent on a house thing as well, but all I know is that it doesn't hit with me. This is what works for me. Whatever kind of deck that I'm particularly drawn to, I tend to use oracle cards because they seem to like just be the most, in terms of just like a holistic like boulder to be able to look at and be like, ah, yes, reminder. These are the things that I can focus on. They seem to work for me. I currently am using the Numerology guidance cards, and this is the deck that I go towards pretty frequently for this kind of thing, because it's just like, how many cards? Like 50 something? 44 card deck. Somebody's calling me. I don't know who you are, therefore I'm probably not gonna answer. I'm gonna wait for you to leave me a voicemail, because I've been getting a lot of spam calls. Is today Wednesday? No, it's Tuesday. Don't worry. I was gonna say Wednesday, I think I actually have a call that I need to take. But as far as I'm aware, today I do not. And that's fine. Imagine. No, it's the 26th, which means it's Tuesday. Anyway, they did leave a voicemail. Great, I can't call you back. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah. any like girlies, and again, when I say girlies, I mean fucking anyone. It's just a fun word to say. Like, say the word girlies. Are you kidding me? It's so fun. Girlies. Gals. Girlies. It's just so fun to say. Yeah. If I'm feeling particularly like directionless in a day and I'm like, I don't really understand what I should be doing. Like, sometimes I have a plan and sometimes I have desires of like what I want to do. Like, sometimes I'm like, ooh, today's a this day. And I have like somewhat of a thing. I feel like today's a bit of a movement day for me, which is good. And I've already journaled about, the other thing, fucking journaling, dude. Again, I go in and out with this like nobody's business. And again, with all of these behaviors or like all of these things, I do not do them every single day. Like, I try to do as many as I can. I think I've already said this, but like I don't do all of them. I'm not a perfect person. I just know that these are like very good things in my toolkit. And journaling is one of the ones that I try to do. Right now I'm doing it daily, but I at least try to check in with myself minimum like 2 times a week. Again, sometimes I fall into the thing of not journaling for like a month. But I think if I do it for like, if I leave it for longer than that, I can tell. And I know that the solution is journaling. And then it just becomes a matter of like getting back into the pattern. But I think usually like minimum 1 or 2 times a week, I try and check in with myself, even on my off cycles. Because it just, and like it doesn't even, I think a lot of people have, I might do a whole other video on journaling. It's a big thing. And it's very helpful. But yeah, what I'm talking about right now is cards. I would very highly recommend the Numerology Guidance Cards by Michelle Buchanan, because they just give you cards like this, and financial discipline has been a card that's been coming up for me every fucking day, which is, I get it. I don't have a job right now. I understand. I need to be in a state of abundance, which I am, blah, 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 blah. But it's really good. They give you just kind of like signposts for the day. And so maybe if you need something to like focus on in terms of like, if you need an affirmation, the card, like the little book has like an affirmation that you can say to like bring forth that energy. If you need like a journaling topic, these cards are really great, because like maybe you get a card and you're like, why the fuck am I getting this card? Then you like read the little book, or like you feel into a little bit, like see what you're projecting onto it, journal about it. Immediate insight. That can be a really fun thing. And then, I don't know, kind of once I'm not really focusing on this right now, so I'm not really doing it. I'm not really honoring it in the way that I want. But that's another point of like a little like hallmark thing that I like to do for myself, that gives me a little bit of direction. Another thing that I like to do, which just helps break like overstimulating myself, especially if I find myself on my phone or on my screen for a long time, is I try not to have my like any electronics in my room but like the little light that I have. But look, I bring my phone into my room sometimes, and I purposely don't bring my charger, because then I'll just keep my phone in my room. But I bring my phone into my room sometimes. It happens. It was in there this morning and I was on my phone for an hour as soon as I woke up. Is that good? No. But if I'm noticing that I'm kind of like just doing that kind of, just reach my phone, check Instagram, scroll through it, nothing there. Reach my phone, go on YouTube, scroll through, nothing there. But just doing that as like a automated motion. I put my phone face down on silent. Well, it's always on silent, but like put it out here on the kitchen, go into my room, lie down on my bed, and either lie with my eyes shut, or like I lie and like I look out the window and I just kind of like allow myself to be. Sometimes I focus on my breathing, because sometimes I like to think, but sometimes my thoughts are really racy, and sometimes all the thoughts will be like, I'm so bored. But like it's a thing that doesn't feel very good for the first like 2 minutes that you're doing it, and then you're kind of just lying there and you just completely like your body just resets. It's like a feeling of just like you fight it, and you're like, this is boring, I hate this. And then you just kind of like reset. And sometimes I end up just daydreaming, or sometimes I end up napping. Like, I feel like it's just a little factory reset for my body that it really, really appreciates, especially in those moments where I'm overstimulated and like I've just been like, I've burnt my brain out on like everything and like nothing appeals to me. Like, you know, when you're in those moods where it's just like absolutely nothing is appealing to me right now. Like even I'm on my phone and every single thing I see, I'm like boring, I hate it. Like I just try and just factory reset. Another thing that I try and do in those factory resets moments, that could also be what like a shower does for me. I wish I had a bath because that would be amazing. But just pretty much remove myself from like all stimulation and just give myself some very quiet time. And that if I remember to do that, like if I can like switch on a self-awareness button when I'm being overstimulated and go, oh, I need to do something about this. That's usually the best thing that I can do for myself, rather than like trying to think about doing anything else. Just take yourself to your bedroom and stay there. Like just go into your bedroom and stay there. That's it. Like I don't have to think about like yoga breathing, or like I don't have to think about like the concept of, sometimes journaling helps me in those moments, but like also sometimes when I'm just like fucking overstimulated, I'm like, I don't want to journal. Like I don't want to journal, I don't want to cook, I don't want to make tea, I don't want to fucking do anything. I just want to like get out of this like agitated state of being. And yeah, it's really helpful. I hope this like any of this kind of makes sense. Maybe I should have put it in thing, just like take notes, because to wrap this entire video up, nothing's really coming to my mind, babes. Like nothing's really snapping, but I'm sure if you have ADHD, you can relate. So hopefully take some notes if you feel like any of these are really helpful. I try to engage with a lot of these. I know that on most days, I will at least journal. Yeah, journaling's like my one crutch. And like, I'm getting better at the card readings, but that's like a personal one that might not apply for everyone. I'm getting real good at journaling every day. And the showering one, I'm getting pretty good at those. But the other ones, it's hard. But when I remember to do them, I'm very grateful and I'm very thankful for doing them. So if that can be like anything of help to you, I'm sure you've already like figured out, like I'm sure if you have ADHD, like you've already figured out your own little like loop. Oh, and the music. No, I'm not as good as that. I'm not as good with that one. But when I remember to do it, I'm always very thankful. Like that's what these things are. Like they're very like, I don't always remember to do them, but when I do, I'm like, fuck yeah. Thank God. Yeah. I'm sure you have like your own. So if you have any, and if you're watching these, and if you have ones that work for you, like feel free to like comment them below, like engage. Because like that's what I ultimately would really love. I don't know, whenever I'm making videos, at the end of them, it always comes back to like, why are you doing this? And I'm like, I really would just like people to help each other more. So yeah. If that resonates with you, absolutely sick, dude. I hope you have an amazing day. It is God knows what time in the morning, maybe like 9 o'clock. I am gonna go have a shower because I have like a bunch of I'm gonna actually brush my skin. No, because I'm gonna exfoliate with coffee grounds. I'm not gonna brush my skin. I made a French press coffee on the weekend, so I have a fuck ton of coffee grounds. And I'm gonna like do a little, I'm gonna come out and I'm gonna smell like coffee. Oh, it's gonna be so good. Anyway, okay, bye.